for this afternoon, distinguished Toastmaster Fong Su Kwa, with her speech, Ace Your Life. Ace Your Life, Fong Su Kwa. Over to you, Su Kwa.
Thank you very much, Kishan, for that introduction. Wow, I have heard two amazing speakers, and not only they are amazing speakers, they are professional MCs. And for your information, I'm not a professional MC. I'm just a normal company worker and part of Toastmasters. So I will share my slides so that I can share with you my journey in Toastmasters, as well as today my speech topic is Ace Your Life. I think after listening to two amazing speakers like Joe and Vivian, we would also like to be successful like how they are, or maybe in our own way. So let me share my slide. Can you just show me a thumbs up if you can see it? Can you see my slides, Kev? Thank you very much. So let me introduce a bit about myself. I've been in Toastmasters for the past 7 years, and currently I'm with a few clubs. So maybe some of you may know that we can join different clubs. You need to pay another membership for other clubs. Why am I in so many clubs? Later, maybe I can introduce a little bit more. So IJM Toastmasters Club is my first club that I joined. It's in my company itself. It's a corporate club. And the second club that I joined 2 or 3 years back is called School of Hard Knocks Toastmasters Club. It's a community club where you can meet people from all walks of life. The membership is for everyone, public. And Club Pidato KL, I recently joined it online. It's a Malay speaking club because after some time in Toastmasters, besides English, I think speaking Malay is another new challenge. And I found that the vibes in a Malay speaking club is very different. And I feel very warm and welcome in that club. And the last club that I also recently joined is a newly chartered club in another district, Advanced Club, where this club only meet in the afternoon for only 1 hour. So we have yet to have the first meeting yet, so I will share more with you if I have the opportunity. And currently I'm married with no children yet, and I love traveling. Before the pandemic, I used to go overseas traveling within my own budget. And I love meeting people. Even now is the pandemic, I love to meet people online as well. I'm a mindfulness advocate where I practice mindfulness in my own daily routine as well as in my company as well. And previously, I was an accountant. That's why Kishan said that I have those nerd look or introvert look. Yeah, indeed, I am an introvert before. But after joining Toastmasters, somehow I think the people around me influenced me to become more outspoken, to be more daring to share my opinions and talk. So I had an opportunity for a career change within my company. Same company, I did not resign and join another company. So from accountant job, a more routine kind of job, I changed to another department called the Corporate Strategy and Investment Department, where I handle more on like the business performance, the KPIs of the business divisions, because IJM Corporation, the company in Malaysia, is a public listed company with about 5 different businesses. So I think that's another challenge where I need to handle with different people, different challenges, and definitely it was an eye-opener and a challenging job for me. And I think I've been doing good right now. And right now, I'm also in the innovation team for the company, thanks to the skills that I have learned from Toastmasters. So my life motto is also just do it. I will share with you more about my life motto later. So this is a photo that I've taken in 2013. So in 2013, I was just a fresh grad. And as a fresh grad, you can see that I'm really fresh look. I just joined Toastmasters at that time. And after a few years, I started to take up leadership role within my club. This is IJM Toastmasters Club. I meet them during the working hours, and especially in Toastmasters, it's even a more fun environment where I can meet people from different departments within my company. It's a very good networking opportunity as well. So, and this is also a recent photo that we taken 2 years ago where my club is able to win the President Distinguished Award, one of the highest achievements for a club. Well, I think not only that, over the years, I learned that initially I joined Toastmasters within my company because my mentor in my company asked me to join. Okay, it's not that I voluntarily want to join. And he said that if you join Toastmasters, you can improve your English and it can help you to climb up the corporate ladder even faster. So, okay, why not? Since membership is free for us, IJM staff, why not? All right, so it's a free staff personal development program. And as I joined and I noticed that when we can go beyond the club, instead of just meeting Toastmasters within your club, you can also meet Toastmasters from other places. Like now I can meet Jocelyn, I can meet Vivian, Kishan, people from different places, different companies. So this is some of the photos that I share. I really enjoy networking within Toastmasters. Some people may think, oh, after you achieve the highest recognition in Toastmasters, distinguished Toastmaster, that's it, you can quit Toastmasters. You have learned enough. But I never agree about that, because many of us, we stay and continue to serve in Toastmasters because of the friends that we make, because of the network that we have. I think that really makes our life even more colorful. And this first photo that you can see over here, it's with Korean Toastmasters. When I go for my first solo trip in Korea, I how you call that? I find Toastmasters in Korea to attend, yeah, and adjust my traveling schedule according to their Toastmasters time. So it's really interesting to meet Toastmasters from other countries as well. So ladies and gentlemen, do you want to be an ace? If you want, can you type an ace in the chat box? Just type it in the chat box. A. So Kishan, you want to be A only, how about the CE? All right, thank you very much. Yeah, every one of us, we want to be an ace in our own life. So I would like to share with you my personal experience. The first thing I would say, in anything that you do in your life, either you are a professional MC or you are a normal company worker, or even if you are just a housewife or you stay at home, I think you definitely need to have a good attitude. So maybe I can ask some of you, for your information or in your personal opinion, what is the most important attitude that one should have? What is it? There are many kinds of attitude, but how do you define a good attitude? Maybe you can type out in the chat box for me to understand a little bit more where you are coming from. Caring, gratitude. Yeah, gratitude is also a very important attitude. Caring, what else? Maybe you can have some more answers. Okay, in my opinion, I think a positive attitude is very important. And this is also where Toastmasters can provide a positive and supportive learning platform. Imagine you have no public speaking experience. You can't even speak proper English at first. How do you want to improve in this platform if you do not have a positive people around you to encourage you, to correct you, and give you proper suggestions to improve? So I think definitely we need to be positive before we can actually spread positivity to the people around us. So in my opinion, I always have a positive attitude, and I learned that from Toastmasters as well. And that has made me challenge myself and even tell myself that sometimes when opportunities knock at your door, don't think so much, just embrace that new learning. So what I can share with you here is one photo with my cute laptop and also my companion. During this pandemic, for the past 1 year, I have been conducting online webinars within my company using Google Meet, because part of the innovation team member, I need to contribute to the company as well. How do we want to equip our staff with online webinar skills, how to attend online meeting, how to have a good virtual presence, as well as how to utilize the collaboration tools like Google Drive, even Gmail. There are many tips and techniques that can help to improve the work productivity. So that is what I've been doing for the past 1 year, using online platform trainings. And I didn't know that I can do it, but because of the skills that I learned in Toastmasters, my boss said, hey, you are Toastmasters, right? You should have very good training skills. So I learned how to conduct the trainings and the material, and I deliver it online and improve ongoing. So I think that is one of the biggest achievement that I achieved during this pandemic. And another thing that I also experienced is this digital roadmap ideation workshop. Maybe some of you have not heard of workshops or maybe like design thinking workshops and so on. For me, this kind of innovation tools are very new for me because I'm an accounting background. I do not have entrepreneurship background, but if we want to become an innovator, we need to adopt this kind of entrepreneurial mindset, which Jocelyn and Vivian or many of you may have already. So I need to learn how to adapt to changes and also to inspire the staff to come up with new ideas. Because for your information in corporates, the staff, right, they would only do the same old way. If not because of certain circumstances, they would not want to change. So how do we want to inspire people that resist change? It's also a new thing that I learned throughout this pandemic. And last but not least, I also started to become MCs. Before the pandemic, I also have the chance to become some company events MC because it not only helped the company to save costs, but it's also part of my personal training platform. So I think I'm very grateful that the management is willing to give me that chance. And during this virtual period of time, I also helped out in some of the company events as the MC and also technical assistant, thanks to the Zoom and Zoom master skill I learned in Toastmasters. So I think one important attitude that everyone should have, other than being positive, is that never stop learning. Can you type this out in the chat box? Never stop learning. Yeah, type it out. All right, thank you very much. So the next C that I would like to proceed is creativity. Have you thought that I will share about this C, creativity? Maybe some of you will not think about creativity. You may think that C represents confidence, maybe calm or courage or whatever is it. So I would like to ask every one of you, if you think you are a creative person, can you type it in the chat box, a C? If you think you are a creative person, type a C in the box, chat box. All right, only a handful. The 50-50 means what? 50-50. Okay, you are on the way there. All right. It's okay. There are different interpretations of creativity. And according to Albert Einstein, creativity is intelligence having fun. And maybe some of you may doubt also, how high is your intelligence or even your IQ? But I would say this will result in, I would say, like very lacking of self-confidence if you think you are not creative. Because I definitely think that every one of us, we have that potential in our brain or in our mind, just that because of certain environment or lack of confidence, you are unable to bring out the creativity in you. So I would like to inspire every one of you. For myself, I'll just share my experience. I am also not a very creative person, I would say, because my job is accounting. How you want to be creative in accounting, it's very hard, okay? Yeah, creative accounting is another topic. We won't talk about that. But today I would like to share with you, during this pandemic, I also started to learn new skills and try to think creative out of the box by looking at other people's YouTubers, how they do their YouTube channel. So recently, I'm also busy administering my YouTube channel, not really to monetize it or earn extra income, but then I think I started posted videos about Toastmasters, like sometimes how to do Toastmasters of the day, how to become a good grammarian, or maybe some creative table topics idea that I got some idea throughout my clubbing in this pandemic. So I think it's a good initiative, and I'm still learning from the feedback that I gained from some of my viewers. I may not achieve many subscribers currently, but I think the process or the journey when I'm preparing for my videos and also the education for some of the Toastmasters role, it has helped me to sharpen not only my presentation skills online, but also how to really think and present myself more fluently. So that is one of my projects recently. I'm not sure. How about you? How do you want to ensure that you can show your creativity skills? So one of it, maybe you want to try to take up the public relations roles in your club, where you learn how to post creative posts on the social media to attract people to your businesses, to your Toastmasters club. So I think definitely being creative is something that we can learn, and it's definitely very fun, very, very fun to explore. So some of you, before I go to the next point, I think another thing that I'd like to share is that it's also good to always learn something new. Learn something new, for example, like learn to cook a new dish, a new cuisine, or maybe adopt a new hobby as well. So I hope every one of you will have something new to learn during this pandemic to make your life more interesting. So last E that I'd like to share is excellence. Okay, so I love this quote from Aristotle, a philosopher. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, therefore, is not an act, but a habit. So how many of you agree with this particular quote? I really believe that sometimes it's not just persistence in doing things, but the things that you do, it also need to be right and also align with your goals, because if you do the wrong things consistently, it won't generate the results that you want. So if we want to achieve our goals, we need to adopt it as a habit. Like for example, if you want to be a successful MC, you need to continue to practice speaking. You need to continue to have knowledge, content to speak, and also be creative in presenting yourself. That is what I think excellence really means. So here is one thing that I think is very related to excellence. It's not the big moves that change everything, but it's the smallest one in your everyday life that do. Yeah. Initially, when I thought if we want to be an excellent speaker or we want to be a very successful professional speaker, we need to do something very big. We need to do something that is very, very difficult. But over the years, when I meet different people, I learned that we don't really need to do that difficult thing in one go. We do it in a small step every day. If we are able to consistently do small steps, like for example, you attend Toastmasters meeting regularly, or maybe every day you teach yourself to read aloud for at least 10 minutes to correct your enunciation and pronunciation. If you are able to do it on a habitual basis, I believe over time, you will naturally gain that skill. So tell yourself that do something small every day that contributes to your goal, and eventually one day you will be as successful a person like you want one day. So don't be scared to do new things. And here, there's another quote, strive for progress, not perfection. Some of us, we may be a perfectionist. I'm not sure who is in the house is like that. So perfectionists, they tend to be afraid to take action because they think that that's not the right time, or they do not have the enough resources, or simply because they think I do not have the right skills yet. So I would say strive to make progression, which means strive to take actions. Like just now I say, take small steps every day so that you are able to improve day by day. So what is it that is important here is that just now I mentioned many good things, attitude, positive attitude, and creativity, as well as being an excellent person. But those points are good to hear. Today, maybe after this session, you may already forget what I share. But I think one of the most important things that I would like you to take home is this courage. What does it mean by courage? Courage doesn't really need a very difficult thing for you to have, but it is sometimes as simple as talking to the person beside you or sending a good wish to the person beside you, something that you need an urge to do it. So, and here the last examples that I said is that some days getting out of bed. To me, I think getting out of bed every day is quite difficult, okay? Yeah, the alarm, sometimes we may be very lazy and we want to snooze the alarms many, many times. So sometimes, how do you want to be courageous to get out of bed? It's also, to me, there is this one important rule that I really believe in, shared by Mel Robbins. So I would like you to see this video for a short moment, because I really think that this 5 seconds rule will help us to build courage in our everyday life.
I do, and what's changed my life, is waking up and realizing that I'm never going to feel like doing the things that are tough or difficult or uncertain or scary or new. So I need to stop waiting until I feel like it. And number 2, I am one decision away from a totally different marriage, a totally different life, a totally different job, a totally different income, a totally different relationship with my kids. Not like one decision, I'm divorcing you in the marriage example, but one decision on, you could be having a conversation with your spouse and you feel your emotions rise up, and within a tiny window, those emotions can take over and can impact how your marriage goes. Or you can learn how to take control of that micro moment and make a decision to act in a way that actually shifts your marriage. Your life comes down to your decisions, and if you change your decisions, you will change everything.
Okay, so that is a video by Mel Robbins. So this 5-second rule, I think it really pushes me to challenge myself to do different things. For example, in Toastmasters just now, I think you heard that we have these table topics or the impromptu speaking session. How do you want to push yourself to be a first volunteer to speak up? You know that you need to speak in order to improve, but then how do you want to push yourself to do it? So Mel Robbins have this 5-second rule called you count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you take action immediately. So there is one instant example that you can take in order for you to act on a goal that you think it's worth it for you to do it. And many of the times, I think throughout the day, we will have this feeling, I don't feel like it. For example, today's session, maybe initially you don't feel like attending, or maybe you don't feel like doing house chores today, Sunday, I just want to relax. So many of the times we have this kind of meh feeling of, I don't feel like it. So how do you want to do that? And definitely there's a scientific research that supports that I don't feel like it feeling, because most of the time we feel before you think. So how you want to really conquer that feeling, the negative feeling that you have, is that you can implement this 5 seconds rule. So if you want to know more about that book, you can really Google up the Mel Robbins book, 5-second rule. It's really beneficial book for many of you that you want to start taking actions now. Okay, so this is a short clip for the 5-second rule. What it really says is that the moment you have an instinct to act on a goal, you must count down. Just like the rocket launch, count down. It's impossible for you to count from 1. Why? Because once you start to count from 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you just continue to count until 100 and you will not take action. So that is why they use the countdown rule, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 1, what's next? So it's taking action. Okay, it's similar to just do it, in my opinion. So last but not least, I would just like to recap. For me, I really believe in this life motto, just do it, not really to promote that brand, but it's really, it can push me to challenge myself to learn new things, to meet new people, to start a new conversation. And remember, if you want to ace your life, have a positive attitude, never stop learning, as well as insert some sense of creativity in your life, because nowadays life is not easy. Okay, we need to be creative in order to make our life more meaningful, more worthwhile, not only for ourselves, but also for the people around us. And lastly, if you are able to nail the first 2, A and C, I believe if you are persistent in whatever that you are believing in, your goals, your purpose in life, you will definitely be an excellent person. Okay, so last but not least, this is also one of my favorite mentors. He said, look at his look. The only impossible journey is the one you never begin. The only impossible journey is the one that you never begin. So I would never imagine myself speaking to you here online if not of what I have learned and benefited from Toastmasters, as well as the people around me who have supported me all along. So thank you very much for the opportunity for sharing. And I shall end my presentation here and back to you, Tishan. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sukwa, for that. And